Hi. So, a friend of mine gave me permission to talk about her situation. Um, we've been hearing a lot about estranged parents, and she was one of those people. She was one of the mothers that was estranged, and she didn't know why, or she said she didn't know why. Her daughter had accused her of a few different things, and one of those things was like her daughter said that she never liked any of her boyfriends, and it kind of screwed up her relationships for her. And so um, she just her daughter felt like she was always conspiring to bring her down or something. And then because she had two other daughters also, this daughter felt like she loved her other two daughters more. And so, anyway, she was estranged. And this would go on for a while, and then her daughter would come back into her life, and everything was great. Uh, she actually lived with her for a year, and then she moved out. And after she moved out, like a couple months after she moved out, all of a sudden her daughter was accusing her of the conspiracy thing again. So, and so they had been estranged for like about 4 years. And so this time, she's my age, and her daughter sent her a message through Facebook, and she's saying that she wanted that she loved and missed her mom, and she was wondering if they could talk without feeling misunderstood. And I guess maybe her daughter's gotten some therapy or whatever. With that verbiage, it sounds like it. Maybe she has gotten a little bit of therapy. But the woman decided that no, I'm done. I've been walking on eggshells for several years, and at my age, I am not going to do it anymore. I love you, but I can't keep going through this. I'm finished. And so she wrote back a message to that effect. She said, I guess our relationship doesn't work. I'm sorry that it hasn't worked out. But at this age, after everything that we've been through, it's not worked out for either one of us, and I'm not going to do it anymore. I hope that you find happiness and health and all that good stuff, but I'm not doing this again. And she said goodbye to her daughter. And the thing is that it hurt her, but it also kind of set her free. She said, I feel no shame in this. I've been going back and forth with this for so many years, for decades, and I'm just done. I'm working for myself now. And that's kind of the way she put it, was that her actions, her behaviors are to benefit herself at this age. And, I don't blame her. I completely applaud her choice. And the reason why is because at our age, if you haven't come to some kind of if you really did wrong, most of the time at this age, you're probably fessing up to it, and you're saying, look, I'm sorry I did this, or whatever. what can I do to make amends for it? And you make your amends. You do what you need to do to make your amends. And it's not because it makes you feel better as a person, but it's almost like it's helping you heal what you have done. And man, I know I'm not Mother of the Year. I had my first baby when I was 15 years old. So I definitely had my shortcomings. But I've come to terms with that, and my daughters know that. So, and they love me. They love me regardless, you know. We're together. We're good. But I know that there are parents out there that are still hurting, and I don't know if they just need that control. I'm not someone who really ever needed that kind of control. I needed the kids to be able to control themselves. And that was kind of like my job as a parent. I felt like they needed to learn how to take care of themselves and to be able to control themselves. If they couldn't do that, then yeah, that was my fault. And I have fallen short. And there is something to be said for balance. And I've learned that over the years. But, you know, my friend, her doing this, it did hurt her. I'm not going to say that it didn't hurt her, because it has. But she feels like it lifted away. There's some closure. So, I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but I think it was a good move on her part.